Before your little goblins go trick-or-treating this Halloween, send them off with a hamburger or hot dog made with a freshly baked Village Hearth classic bun. Soft, wholesome, and full of old-fashioned flavor, even the most finicky little princess or Cape Crusader will gobble them up. So this Halloween, fuel your kids with a Village Hearth bun, because as every monster knows, the best nights start with a great bite. Village Hearth, baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
It's time to hit the court at the Waikiki Fall Hoop Fest, November 7th through the 9th at the Box Elder Event Center. 3 days of non-stop basketball action as teams battle it out for bragging rights and glory. Divisions for boys and girls, grades 5th through 10th. Bring your game, bring your team, and bring the energy. And when the game's over, celebrate with special Courtyard by Marriott room rates that include Waikiki Water Park passes for even more fun. Don't sit on the sidelines. Register your team today at thebox.live.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
The Tigers have scored 9 unanswered runs, and they lead the Mariners in the 9th inning, 9-3 in Game 4 of their American League Divisional Series. With a Tigers win, it would force a Game 5 back in Seattle. The Cubs are on top of the Brewers 4-1 right now in the bottom of the second at Wrigley. That's a Game 3 of the National League Divisional Series. Later on tonight, Jays and Yankees 7 Eastern, Phillies and Dodgers 9 o'clock Eastern time. A report from The Guardian says North Carolina head football coach Bill Belichick has been in talks with the school about his buyout options. The report says assistant coaches have already reached out to other schools, with Belichick looking for another landing spot either in media or on another team. One source was quoted as saying some assistants couldn't reach Belichick during the team's bye this week. Bengals are turning to Joe Flacco as their starting quarterback in Week 6 against the Packers. No practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, or Niners QB Brock Purdy.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we're ready to go on a Wednesday. Glad you're here. How you doing? The Nate Brown Show is back in on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, from high school to college to the pros. Let's get after it today. Have some fun, some great guests across the board, and let's get to it. You can be a part of the conversation. I invite you in. It's a great day in South Dakota. Always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. Motto of the show. Thanks to you for making the show possible. Let's go to the X app if you want to watch us live. We're there right now at Nate Brown Show. Follow us at Nate Brown Show, and then you've got this show live. You can interact with us in the question of the day. We check the X account all throughout the show, so you want to send stuff in there. We are on X at Nate Brown Show. Also on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Less interactive, but live stream is perfect there. You got the live show and the archive shows. If you're a YouTube guy, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. Get us up. Get our street cred up. Get our YouTube count up. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. And finally, Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports app. If you're a fan of high school sports, you got to have the new Midwest Sports Plus app. We're live streaming on there as well. Wednesday edition, what does it look like? What are we going to have happen here today on South Dakota Sports Talk Show? We have Craig Mattick on tonight from SDPB Sports, live from Sioux Falls, our weekly hitter with Craig, the legend, East River meets West River. Craig Mattick's in tonight. We're going to go with Zach Borg as well, Midwest Sports Plus, play-by-play man. So Borg's been a TV staple, and then he's been doing some play-by-play. As a matter of fact, I worked with Zach Borg doing some baseball play-by-play this summer, And now Zach's into the high school football scene. He's on Midwest Sports Plus. We'll talk some high school sports with Zach Borg live from Sioux Falls. We'll go national with Jerry Brewer, sports writer for the Washington Post, one of the best writers in the country, I think. Jerry Brewer on the NFL, Washington Post sports columnist, and college football writer John Brice on a big college football day. This Bill Belichick thing is just wild. I mean, it just gets more wild by the minute. I told you on Monday on this show, hey, there's some stuff popping with this story out of North Carolina, this TV station saying parents are saying this and players are saying this, and now even more stuff today. How serious is it for Belichick? Speaking of a legend and then going out like this, I mean, this is wild. We'll get to John Brice, get his read. He's covered college football a long time. Footballscoop.com, national writer. All right. South Dakota guest, national guest. We got it going. Let's get you on. 605-720-1067. Join us on your drive home. 605-720-1067. Be a part of the show on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. Powered by the Pizza Ranch. Our home, man, for the best buffet, no doubt, on East 10th Street in Sioux Falls. Also a location in Brandon, really good. And 2 locations in Rapid City, home of everyone's favorite buffet, the Pizza Ranch. And the Barron's Wilson text line open for you. Text the show if you can't call us. Text us. We've got it here. 605-720-1067. All right, couple of things to discuss here. And I'm going to go with our sports culture and if we're tough or if we're soft or if we're smart or if we're dumb. What a start. I'm referencing this story that I was surprised by that's developed over the last 24 hours of the Arizona Cardinals finding their own coach for an interaction on the sideline with that running back. You've probably seen this if you're a sports fan by now. The running back for the Cardinals dropped the football on Sunday. And it's debatable if it was right at the goal line or he still had it. People are debating that, but that's not the story. He dropped the football. It was too close to call, and the NFL said, the review said it was before he crossed the goal line. So the Cardinals get a touchdown taken off the board because of the old dropping of the ball. And we've seen this happen. It's like every year, right? You guys know this. I've been doing this show a long time. It's every year we have some instance like this. So it happens again with the Cardinals running back. He drops the ball. It's a close call. Shouldn't be. Just take it to the back of the end zone. I mean, everybody says that, yet it keeps happening. It's the most bizarre thing. It's the twilight zone. We can't get out of our own way. So after that, Jonathan Gannon, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, ripped that running back up, down, and sideways. I mean, he ripped him. There's video of that. A fan took video of it, and what happens in our world today, there's video, it goes viral, it goes crazy, and then people react. I can't believe he did this. I can't believe this happened. The coach meaning. So then the focus was on the coach ripping the player, not on the player dropping the ball, essentially. And so I watched the video numerous times. It's hard to see because players are blocking it. The coach is ripping the running back, Jonathan Gannon, the head coach, and he does do something physical to him. He either pops him in the stomach kind of or chest with the pads. I don't know what was there. It wasn't as evident as the Bobby Knight choke, okay? So it's not as evident. There was something there. Jonathan Gannon apologizes the next day to the player and to the team, but that's not enough. The Cardinals fined him yesterday $100,000. They fined the coach $100,000. And so I'm just debating this today. We would have never dreamed that to happen with many, many coaches in the history of sports. Meaning fining your own coach for ripping a player. I mean, it wasn't a chokehold. It wasn't, I don't know what he did physical to him, so I can't just let him off the hook totally. But I feel like it's an overblown incident of a $100,000 fine for getting after your own player hard, and he did. So then what message does that send? Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
Good. So a couple things with the Jonathan Gannon thing. He wound up and hit him.
Hit him? Hit him? I couldn't see that.
If you, his hand goes back, and then he, leans into it. You're seeing it from the back, but he wound up and hit the guy.
Okay, in the chest with your shoulder, with your pads, like that, right? Like, hey, come on. He kind of popped him. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, just think about it like a normal workplace. Don't think about it like football. You can't have your boss running around hitting people.
I know we can't. I know we can't, but you've seen this stuff happen in football. You've seen this happen.
Yeah, you've seen pushes, and you've seen, Kelsey and good old what's-his-face, Andy, bumping each other a little bit. You've seen, Kirk Cousins and Mike Zimmer get after a little bit. Those are, pushes and shouting.
Let's find Andy Reid for bumping Kelsey. Let's find him, $100,000.
Bumping is a whole lot different than winding up and smoking a guy in the stomach, dude.
Well, I don't know if it was in the stomach. I don't know if it was. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
By the way.
Well, whatever it was, he wound up and swung and hit him. So that's bad.
So you say the fine is legit. The fine is legit.
Yeah, $100,000 might be a bit much, but he needed something to happen. You can't be doing that. As a person in authority, as somebody who's the boss of everybody, you can't be hitting people. It's just not okay.
Okay.
And then on the Belichick thing, guy needs to just go to retire to a private island with his side piece and just disappear forever. It's absolutely, he's lost every ounce of aura he ever had.
It's wild.
The worst. I'm just waiting for him to dye his hair black.
Yeah, right. Good call.
He's trying to live in it's gone. Everything he had is just gone.
He needs to have a fruit cup in the park at 3:00, no care in the world. Right?
Yeah, he needs to just go away. It's just sad at this point.
All right, buddy.
But go Broncos, I guess.
Yes.
From this weekend. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Go Jaguars. Because I know there's a lot of Chiefs fans that listen to this, but we're sick of y'all. So it's about time they got knocked down a peg.
Double hit. Thanks, brother.
Have a good one, bud.
Appreciate it. The double hit today. Go Broncos and go Jaguars against your Chiefs. Okay, I want to ask you guys this. So I don't have to be the tough guy, but I'm not going to be the soft. We have to worry about every coach interaction with an NFL player either. So Jonathan Gannon gets fined $100,000 for his behavior and actions. And I don't know, McJudgerson there, longtime listener to the show, he said, he smoked him in the stomach. I don't know about that. I mean, there was something there, and I'm being honest on that. I don't know about that. There's something there. But do you think that finding the coach is the legit call? Because think about where, the NFL has been and coaches being tough. Have you ever seen Brian Kelly, the college coach, Notre Dame and now LSU, grabbing guys by the helmet, stuff like that? I mean, what, can we grab guys by the helmet these days? Can we grab their face mask, pop it back and forth? Can we do that? Not that I want to see that. What are we going to find coaches $100,000? My problem there, it does set a precedent here. That was an emotional thing. He apologized to the player and the team. That was an emotional time, and we fine $100,000. So now it's the coach's fault. And he said he was in the wrong. He apologized. He said he was in the wrong. My point is, I don't think you had to go down the road of fining him on top of that. Like we made it $100,000 for the head coach. Makes it sound like it was the worst thing in the world. My read on it is I watched it numerous times now. I don't think it was. I don't know what he said. Kind of popped him there in the chest, maybe the stomach. I don't know. It's not like the guy just got drilled and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And the players all up. I don't think you have to fine the coach. That's the precedent being set. Thanks for getting in. You're live and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What do you think?
I think the fine's ridiculous. I mean, these prima donna snowflake players, come on, they're getting billions of dollars. You do a stupid play. Not only did he drop the ball before he got the end zone, but he loafed the last 10 yards.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Allowing the guy to comes behind him and knock the ball, or hit his arm and knock the ball out. So it was two things. And as a head coach, your job security is based on winning and losing. And to lose games like that, there's no excuse for dropping the ball before you get to the end zone and loafing into the end zone the last 10 yards so you got caught by the guy chasing you.
Yeah. That did lose the game for him, by the way. I mean, that did lose the game because it was a really close game. So that score being taken off the board did lose the game.
This was their third straight loss on a last-second field goal. I mean, the Broncos lost 2 games that way, but now Arizona's lost 3 that way. So, I mean, you got to look at that, too. This was a third straight last-second loss, and this was uncalled for, and it was a key loss because almost everybody in their division lost on Sunday or last week. And
you would not have fined the coach. That's what you're telling me, right?
Not $100,000. Come on, that's ridiculous. I'd say maybe 25 at the most.
Yeah, I don't even know if I find him. I think we have that meeting, and he has the meeting with the player and the team. He apologizes. He addressed it. I think we move forward. Something else pops up.
You and I played a different era, but I remember getting grabbed by my face mask by my head coach if I jumped a snap count or ran the wrong play or the wrong direction on a play. And so, and I wasn't getting paid millions of dollars either. I mean, these guys need to remember.
Yeah.
These coaches, their job security is based on winning. So
I don't think it was that bad that the Cardinals had to go there. All right, man. I appreciate you.
Well, he had his gear on, too. It's not like he was in street clothes.
Right. Thanks for getting in. I appreciate that. So that's my read. And maybe I don't know. That's my read on it. I think we're just a little soft on it. What's your vote on this? Arizona Cardinals fine their coach $100,000. We're going to try to get to more calls on this. Got a lot coming in. Let me see if I can get to more. Hang tight. Arizona Cardinals fine their coach $100,000 for his behavior and actions toward that running back who dropped the ball. Tells us what? We're too soft now, or it was the right call. The coach has to act better. That's my question of the day. Let's see. Let's see if we can get to you. Nate, what's the worst scenario? What happened to DeMarco or what Gannon did to him or him getting cut? I think DeMarco would rather have what Gannon actually did than get cut. Right. I mean, he could have just, been so mad and this and that and been like, you're gone. I mean, this guy's not like the starting running back, right? So, new player. So, I think we got a little soft on it. Listener text, 7 times now an NFL player has dropped the ball before crossing the end zone since 2024. It's happened 2 times this month alone with DeMarcado and Mitchell. Yeah. Well, I think we're a little soft. 79% of the audience votes tonight on the Nate Brown Show Twitter account. We are too soft now with the Cardinals fining their own coach $100,000 for his blow up on the sideline with that Cardinals running back. 79% of you say we're too soft now. 21% say it was the right call. Listener reaction, one more. I couldn't see if the coach hit the pads or hit him in the gut. If he punched him in the gut, it's the right call to fine him. If it was in the pads, we're too soft. So, and that's up for debate. It's up for debate. But I just don't think they had to fine the coach on top of it. I think he was addressing, he said, I felt bad about it, the scene, and he talked about it Monday, and I thought that was it. And here the Cardinals last night or yesterday afternoon fined their own coach $100,000 as well. It's like, I don't think you had to go there. I do think sometimes it's just a little squishy. We're just a little squishy. All right. I got a lot to cover tonight. We'll get to more of your calls, a lot coming in. We'll try and get you. I appreciate you being there. Craig Mattick's coming up from SDPB Sports. But first, college football. John Brice on the Bill Belichick mess. Is there validity to this story that just came out that Bill already might be heading out? John Brice, football scoop coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for Atomic Wings, 2 locations in Sioux Falls. You don't need to keep going to the mediocre wing places with too much breading and wings that don't have any meat. Atomic Wings is different. I know firsthand. Their boneless wings are made with fresh chicken right there. The best wings I've had. 15 unique flavors to choose from sweet to heat. Huge traditional wings, fresh boneless wings for game day, lunch, or dinner. 2 locations in Sioux Falls. Just order at atomicwings.com. Atomicwings.com.
Football season is back, and no matter which home team you root for, there's one thing everyone in the Midwest can agree on. If you're tailgating or grilling at home, nothing beats a freshly baked Village Hearth bun. An old-fashioned hot dog bun is the perfect accompaniment for a brat or a hot dog and all the toppings your little heart desires. And for the best burgers, you just can't beat the Village Hearth Classic Bun. So head to the store and pick up some Village Hearth buns. The weekend is almost here.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson, McPherson Auction Company. On today's online-only auction, we are selling a duplex in Deadwood, South Dakota. Absolute auction, selling to the highest bidder. This is a very desirable property, lower level, on flat ground, which is unusual in Leiden, Deadwood. 2 steps and you're in the front door. The Deadwood trolley pickup is right outside the front door. Address is number 1 Charles and number 2 Stewart Street. For more details and to bid and buy on today's online-only real estate auction, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. 79 this afternoon, under clear skies, winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies, tonight, 52. Bright sunshine tomorrow, highs level off around 78. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times and dry, Friday and Saturday, low 70s, Friday, low 80s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, 78.
Attention football fans, the BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort has it all. Watch your team on massive high-definition screens while enjoying live betting. Keep some skin in the game even when the odds don't go your way. Enter Jack's Second Chance Mulligan drawing by dropping your losing ticket for a shot at up to $200 in Cadillac cash every week. Satisfy your craving with mouth-watering Mexican cuisine from Guadalajara's or choose from 4 other food vendors, all while sipping on your favorite drinks. The BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your game play out?
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state with high school, college, and pro guests across the board. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Question of the day out there. Do you agree with the Arizona Cardinals fining their own coach $100,000 for his sideline altercation with that running back who dropped the ball? He dropped the ball right at the goal line. It was debatable, but he dropped it too close to the goal line. Cardinals didn't score. Then they lost the game against the lowly Titans. So this is the question of the day. I've got a lot of texts coming in. Let's get a couple more. Listener text, fans are unrealistic and clueless, and players are soft. Let's see here. Listener text, what would you do if it's your kid that a coach wound up and punched? Well, I mean, I don't like it. But I'm still debating if this was a full-on, hitting the gut or kind of a pop in the chest. Like you got shoulder pads on, the pop in the chest. We see that type of stuff a lot. I see that type of stuff a lot. Like a pop in the chest, like, come on, let's go, boom. And then a pop. So I see that type of stuff quite a bit. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to see if we can track down John Brice. He's getting set. I think he's getting set. John Brice, National College Football writer, footballscoop.com. Hang tight. We want him on. Bill Belichick's story is going wild today. Let's see if we can track him down. Hang tight for Craig Mattick coming up, talking high school football. SDPB Sports live from Sioux Falls. Also tonight, Zach Borg straight ahead, Midwest Sports Plus, talking to Zach Borg on the high school sports front. So this story with Bill Belichick, I'm gonna track down John Brice, get his read if we can get him tracked down. This story with Bill Belichick started on Monday, and I came on this program and I thought, hey, normally there's podcast people and message board people and all these crazy people that say, Belichick this and Belichick that. I don't follow that stuff a lot, the rumor mill and the craziness, but I saw a TV station out of North Carolina, WRAL. They had a big story about the culture inside Belichick's program. The culture of, this came from parents that were in the story. Now, they were anonymous, but parents, other sources within the program. So this came out on Monday that the culture is just wild. There's no leadership. Belichick hasn't, even hardly talked to the guys that are playing defense. Some of the guys he doesn't even talk to. So that came out Monday. And then a situation that's happened today is there's actually reporting, and this is again news reports saying Belichick may be looking at getting bought out. Actually getting bought out. So this would be quite early, as you might expect. This would be quite early. Let's see what's happened here. I'm going to take a quick time out. Hang tight. John Brice, really good guest on this when it comes to Belichick. We're going to see if we can track him down next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Save big money on your roofing project at Menards with Owens Corning Shingles. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements and enhances the appearance of your home's exterior. Owens Corning Duration Shingles offer ultimate protection and impressive curb appeal. Choose from 24 colors of Owens Corning Duration Shingles and transform your home today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care. At participating stores.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we are committed to improving the lives of our members and bettering our communities. As your community credit union, we're here to get to know you and your unique needs. From extended service hours to the newest technology, we have you covered. Stop by any location to get started or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by the NCUA.
Kickoff just got bigger. Murphy's Pub and Grill is back with NFL Sunday Ticket. That means every game, every team, every Sunday. Right here at your favorite bar. Cheer loud, eat big, and score with Murphy's game day specials on food and drinks. The atmosphere, electric. The staff, legendary. The screens, everywhere. This season, don't just watch football. Experience it. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, baby. Murphy's Pub and Grill, your new football headquarters. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Sometimes it's just a whoops, sometimes it's a oh no, and sometimes it's an all-out ah! Whatever it is, J&J Truck and Auto Body can take care of it with traditional methods or paintless dent repair because they are a PPG certified and ICAR Gold class shop with ASE certified technicians. Plus, they work with your insurance company, saving you time. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
J&J Truck and Auto Body, 100% guaranteed.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, thanks for hanging with us. We're rolling on a Wednesday. You know that. John Brice, I want to thank him for hanging with us. He is in tonight on The Nate Brown Show. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Big headlines out of college football. I contacted John this morning, said, hey, man, do you have time to come on tonight? We want to talk about numerous things in college football and maybe this story about how the NCAA might let players bet on pro games. Like, that was the big story at the time. Then Bill Belichick stuff starts coming out all afternoon. So there's a lot to get to. Footballscoop.com is the place. Footballscoop.com. It is John Brice back on the show. John, how are you?
I'm good, Nate. Come on now. You knew you didn't have to bet anything that I would visit with you.
I know. You got it going on all day, man. You got the puns going on. So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into the NCAA with this pretty big shift here. I mean, this is a big shift that's really getting overlooked because this Bill Belichick story is just dripping. So this thing came out Monday. I saw this TV story, WRAL. That got my attention because I was like, wait, this is a TV station, North Carolina. They had the story about parents and sources saying this place is really struggling, the culture and everything. And I thought, uh-oh. And now there's actual reporting that assistant coaches may be looking and Bill Belichick may be trying to figure out his buyout. I mean, is this how big of a stunner is this?
It's a stunner only in the mid-season timing, Nate. I believe I've pretty consistently said in a number of platforms, but certainly on the Football Scoop podcast in recent weeks, that I expected Belichick to be one and done and not the one and done type of guy that leaves college and goes to the NBA. I expected Belichick to be one and done. It was a bad fit to begin with. It was a bad power coup by people that shouldn't have had the influence that they had at North Carolina, and that really undercut veteran AD Bubba Cunningham, a man who's led in college athletics for multiple decades. And so I'm only surprised that it's bubbling to the surface right now. I'm not particularly surprised at any of the chaos, and I'm not surprised that it's a matter of when Bill Belichick is done at North Carolina and not if.
Do you think it's feasible that's this bubbling to the top that much right now? Like some of the stuff saying today, this thing could get ugly quick.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, look, Bill Belichick is not accustomed to being questioned. He's not accustomed to the public nature of being subjected to being in charge of a program that's open to FOIs. You know, in the NFL, you don't have any of that. You operate, yes, you have more access for your reporters in terms of watching practice, but you don't have reporters with access to file Government Freedom of Information Act requests to find out who you're issuing sideline passes to, or to find out how you're spending your recruiting budget, or who's making what on your coaching staff or whatever. So, yeah, I think that it was a bad fit to begin with. It became a worse fit, and now it's a toxic fit.
Okay, what do you one more on the Belichick thing. John Brice on tonight. Belichick in North Carolina in a mess right now. Is there something that you point to that say, this is why this went south? They went heavy transfer portal, but is Belichick engaged? I mean, there's so many things I'm trying to figure out. Where is this all wrong?
I don't know where it's right. And so, yeah, they went heavy transfer portal, and they signed a decent amount of high school kids, but look who they got in the transfer portal and where they came from. And so sometimes I talk about coaches being overemployed, and it's not fair to these student athletes, but you've got some student athletes on the North Carolina roster that are over-rostered for the schedule in front of them. That's just the flat fact of the matter is you've got some guys either way too young to be playing the roles that they're playing for North Carolina, or you've got some guys that, even though they're a little older, should be playing in different areas of college football. And so that's a bad problem. The whole dynamic of his coaching staff, where he was going to hire pretty much a bunch of pro dudes to do the actual coaching, and then his college coaches and people with college experience would be their primary recruiters. And so, you know, I think North Carolina was at practice this afternoon while there were also coaches out on the road recruiting. And that's just really bizarre if you've got a guy that's your assistant wide receivers coach, and instead of being at practice, he's out recruiting with a personnel or a DPP or whatever. So that's bizarre. I think that Belichick, what was described to me, has been very aloof. He's not approachable, and he doesn't have the track record at the collegiate level. I had this stat over the weekend on Football Scoop, and I love it because not because it's my stat, but because I think it strikes at the heart of what a disaster this is. It took Bill Belichick the entire duration of the Tom Brady era, 366 games. He only, with Tom Brady at quarterback from 2001 to 2019, he only lost 3 NFL games by 25 or more points in that entire span. He's 5 games into his collegiate coaching tenure, and he's lost 3 games by 25 or more points.
That is quite the stat when you think about his career. What does this do to North Carolina here? Buyouts and all of that stuff there. Where's North Carolina go here if this goes down?
You know, I was having this discussion with somebody about a different coach in college football, and I made the point, and someone else pointed it out to me, because I'm not that smart, is that, like, the only thing these coaches maybe like more than control and money is they know their winning percentages, even if they tell you they don't. And so wherever the coach is, in this case Bill Belichick, he knows with each additional loss, he looks worse and worse, both as a college failure and for his goals that I'm told are to get back into NFL coaching. And so I think that dollars will not ultimately define what is done here, unless Jordan Hudson makes Bill Belichick hold out for the most money possible. Because otherwise, Bill Belichick doesn't need the money. Bill Belichick got back in because he needed an avenue back to the NFL. I fully believe that. And he thought if it worked just splendidly by bringing his son back, he could position himself, I was told, to make his son basically the head coach in waiting. That's clearly not going to happen. So I just don't think this decision won't be protracted to haggle over dollars once both sides realize the marriage is over and the rest of the college football family knows it, whether they're ready to formally file the papers or not.
Wild one. John Brice on. Appreciate his time. National college football writer for footballscoop.com. Let's get to the story. A couple here before I let you run on this big story this morning that the NCAA making a change. Now, it's going to have to be cleared by all divisions, D1, D2, D3, making a change that college athletes can bet on pro sports. So NCAA has always said no betting at all. I've shifted, John. I've said maybe they should be able to bet on an NBA game. And I said, is that really going to be a big problem? Well, the NCAA is saying that is the case. Staff and athletes, is there anything that's going to go awry here? Is there a red flag at all?
I think this is the NCAA just admitting, like, this stuff is going to happen. We should probably try to open up our system to it so that maybe people feel led to be more transparent and it doesn't invite as much potential duplicitous behavior or nefarious behavior. And so because of that, the fact that the NCAA made it clear it had gone so far as to quote its chief medical officer in its release today, announcing that it was positioned to enact legalized sports gambling by November 1st, 24 days from today. Coaches and players and staff and whomever else could be betting on pro football, the NBA, NHL. It's all going on. By that point, they could gamble on UFC fights, all of that stuff. It's the NCAA saying, we can't stop this. What's the path of least danger for us to embrace it? This is that path.
It's interesting, man, because I think college kids are doing it. We know they are. Kids have gotten in trouble for it. Now, this won't ever go down the road of you can bet on college sports, just not your own team. They'll never do that.
No, never. No, because that invites corruption for sure. And one thing, this sport is of college football, I would contend, is more connected than ever before, both because of the transfer portal, but even before these guys get to college, they become friends in this age of digital contact, social media, recruiting camps that are nationwide. They're not just regional, or you don't just play with your high school teammates and that's the only people you know in your world. Your environment is so large that a lot of these guys have friends on other teams all around the country before they start having even more friends all around the country because of the transfer portal. So, no, that will never happen, Nick.
Last one. How hot is it there for James Franklin right now at Penn State?
I don't think it's that hot because you're talking about $100 million minimum if you wanted to get rid of James Franklin and hire somebody else and all the staff and everything. And so in an era where everyone is trying to figure out how they're going to meet rev share, you can't look at a $100 million thing. So look, like, it's uncomfortable for sure. And James Franklin now has positioned himself for that which he hates, and that is more criticism, more needling, more prickling. The people who know James Franklin so much better than me, the quote I was told, like, this guy hears everything, he sees everything, his rabbit ears are as big as any antenna you've seen. And so this is worst nightmare. This is absolute nightmare fuel for James Franklin. Whatever your phobia is, this is what's happening to James Franklin right now.
John Brice on a busy day in college football, college sports, footballscoop.com for all the coverage. They have a great podcast. Follow them on X at John D. Brice1. And my Cubbies are up so far, John, trying to survive today. You all right?
I was getting ready to say, Nate, your Cubs are looking so good, there's no way they don't advance to the NLCS.
All right, thanks for that kiss of death. I appreciate you, man.
You got it, brother.
Thanks
See
for
you.
coming on. Thanks for hanging tight. John Brice tonight, national college football writer, footballscoop.com, and noted Cubs hater. What this Belichick thing is just wild. And I mean, people, like John said, he's not surprised how, it's going badly. But I am surprised that it's just an absolute mess right now. I mean, it's just a bizarre whole shift in Belichick from the Patriots and the glory days to now Jordan Hudson and North Carolina parents going off. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Is Bill Belichick not even going to last through the season? And that's what the big surprise is. It's like, well, he's not going to tarnish his legacy going to North Carolina and be a guy there for 5 weeks and then head out. But that's the latest reporting today, is that he may be looking to try and exit right now. That's the reporting today. And it's just been one thing after another since Monday on Bill Belichick. So, John Brice on tonight, footballscoop.com. The other big headline in college sports is the NCAA has shifted big time today. If you just heard that segment, they are going to allow college athletes to bet on pro sports. So if you've listened to this program, I have talked about my shift on that. I said weeks ago here, probably months ago as well, I think you just have to let college athletes bet on some pro stuff. I said, I don't think that hurts. It's been a full-on ban. No, you can't bet on anything. As in, I didn't think there was any correlation with a college football player betting on an NBA game. Should college kids be betting on stuff? Well, that's another argument for another day. We could argue about that all year. So that's not the argument. It is, should the NCAA have a full ban, no betting at all on anything? And I remember this. I worked at an NCAA institution. That was like one of the number one things we talked about with the athletes. You cannot bet on anything. And some of the athletes were like, huh? I can't even bet on this or that? No, you can't. So the NCAA, huge shift saying we're not going to track down and punish kids if they're betting on pro sports. So it has to be approved by the D2, the D3, the D1 level. But the NCAA is now endorsing, I guess, the allowance of college athletes to bet on pro sports now. So that's not going to be a big no-no. It was a blanket no-go on anything. So, and I agree with John. It'll never go down the slippery slope of, well, now you can bet on college stuff too. Kids that are doing that, they're taking that risk. I mean, they are taking a huge risk, and they're going to get into trouble. I don't think you're going to stop that. If they're willing to risk their career, NIL, the college thing, because they want to bet on college sports, thing about it is it's a regulated market, and we can find out now. A lot of those prop bets that throw up the red flags, that's where these guys have been getting in trouble. So if they stick with pro betting, college athletes can now do that according to the NCAA. Has to be approved by all three divisions. Coming right back, Craig Mattick is on SDPB Sports. I have this question on high school football. I had an epiphany last night on this show, if you listen to the second hour. We changed high school football years ago, and I've complained about it since then. I've now had an epiphany, a correction. I admit I was wrong. Is Craig Mattick going to agree with me? Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Anderson's United Against Cancer campaign And when Renewal offered to pay for employees' radon, several Renewal team members found radon in their homes. Deb was one of them, and she always wondered how she got breast cancer. Radon causes cancer. It's linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Radon is a killer.
People don't know about radon. They don't know what a killer it is, and they don't know how cheap it is to have it tested.
From all of us at Renewal by Anderson, please get a radon test now. It could save your life.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside. You don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on, and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops. And the suspension these campers have, wow, so impressive. All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size. And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig. Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome back in. Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio, the Nate Brown Show, where it's always a great day in South Dakota. Book it. Coming up, Zach Borg, play-by-play man, Midwest Sports Plus, covering high school football. We'll get into the season with Zach Borg. Jerry Brewer, one of the best sports writers in the country, I think. He's covered a long time, NFL, NBA. We're going to talk NFL with Jerry Brewer, the Washington Post live sports writer, coming up. Craig Mattick's on. Yes, it's East River meets West River. Craig Mattick is with SDPB. I call him the legend. Oh, yes, the legend from Sioux Falls. Craig, I mean, I said that before you were on the show today. I said Craig Mattick, the legend, so I got to do it when you're actually on.
Well, it all depends what the legend means in your own mind, and I appreciate that. I just kind of think that's just because I've been around a while.
Oh, that works.
But, you know,
that works.
The deal is, I'm looking forward to coming into your neighborhood. I'm there next week. You know, you got state soccer. Please, no snow this time, okay?
I hope not.
We had the blizzard last time Rapid City hosted state soccer championships.
Okay, well, I am biased here, and I'm going to give a big shout-out to the Rapid City Stevens girls, 14-0-1. Can they make the state championship next weekend in Rapid City?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, they're playing really, really well. Okay, let me get into a high school football story that this might surprise you, but you remember when 11 AAA broke off and 11 AA was created. And you go back here, and the argument has been, even with guys like me, it's been, why did we watered this down? We have too many classes, and we hear that over and over. We have too many classes. I have had an epiphany. I'm just watching this Sioux Falls Metro, Brandon Valley and Harrisburg and the Sioux Falls schools. They just dominate. They just absolutely dominate. So I've changed course on this. I said, it's okay that we created 11 AA. We can't expect Huron and Mitchell and Spearfish and Sturgis to play Sioux Falls. We can't expect that, Craig. So why have we been arguing that for the last 20 years?
So you are for that now. You're okay with
how it
was put together.
Yes, I'm okay with it. I've had a big shift on this because I said maybe this was the smart move after all.
Well, when you look at the enrollment, so let's again remind folks that the enrollment numbers determines classification for all the sports that we have with the Activities Association. And when you look at Rapid City and the Sioux Falls schools and Harrisburg and Brandon Valley, yeah, they are the largest schools and should probably just be a part of their own conference. And so far, I think it's worked out pretty well. We're, 11 AA, pretty competitive. AAA is pretty competitive. I think 11A is really competitive. You got, 5-6 teams. Same thing with 11B. Pretty competitive. So I think we've just kind of let this thing roll out just to see where we're going to go. I don't see any changes whatsoever in the number of classes in football. But I know you also would love to see maybe changes in classes, let's say, for the Rapid City schools. If they haven't won a bunch of games, move them down to 11 AA.
Yes.
And you know what? I just don't hear any movement of that so far.
What? I'm telling you, I went to this Jefferson-Stevens game Friday. And Stevens is down big. They had 17 injuries on top of it. So I understand it's maybe even worse than it actually is. But it wasn't a good scene, Craig. The student body was ready. They were ready to cheer. The band was rocking. There was a great crowd. It was a 50-point game at half.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we can't have that. We can't have that. So why can't we have a discussion of able to move teams down a class, rebuild a program? Because I'm telling you right now, this hasn't just been a one-year thing. You know this. Stevens hasn't been really competitive since about 2006. We're talking 19 years.
I am not closing the door for that to happen. I would like to see how they want to do it. How many wins do you get before you have to move up? I mean, there are teams in Class 11A and AA that probably should be dropped as well. So I want to see the language of what that would be and see what other states do, because I understand. I am by far hoping and praying that we can see the Rapid City schools in football be competitive, and everyone is agreeing to that. And you just can't be changing coaches every year. You can't be changing, the philosophy every year. Something needs to happen, and I'm hoping it happens soon.
All right. Well, I know what that something is. You need to move the teams down. That's the something that needs to happen. I do want to say this. It was a tough scene. They weren't competitive at all. Central's trying to build, but they're better than they have been, but they're still way behind. The Sioux Falls dominance in this 11 AAA, this is why the Piers and the Watertowns and the Aberdeens and stuff said, we got to play in this 11 AA. So are you endorsing that with me, that we actually have those classes probably right? I don't want to get into the 9-man stuff, but do you think we have 11-man football classes right?
I think we do right now. Basically, when it comes to 11 AA and A and B, I think you got about 5 or 6 schools that are competitive every year in football. The rest of them are struggling mightily. And when it comes to 9-man football, I certainly believe we should have 3 9-mans and 1 6-man.
Okay.
I think you take that back. 2 9-mans you have double A and A, and then you take 9B and you make that 6-man football. I think teams and schools would like that, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But as of right now, I still think we've got it set classification-wise with staying at 7.
Craig Mattick on tonight, SDPB Sports live from Sioux Falls. I have a question on, there's this story, speaking of lopsided football, there's Millard South down in Omaha. This is a powerhouse. I mean, like a powerhouse, nationally ranked team. They're outscoring their opponents 391-17. So Lincoln Nebraska, they just forfeited. They had to play Millard South this Friday. They have some injuries and other factors, so they forfeited. What do we think of teams forfeiting based on, oh boy, we gotta play a powerhouse, so we're just gonna get absolutely slammed? What do you think of forfeiting?
I don't like it. I hope the reason they are forfeiting is because they don't have enough players to field a team. We've seen that in South Dakota, especially 9-man teams early in the season. They hope they have enough numbers, but then once they practice, they get a couple of injuries, and they just can't field a team anymore, and they have to forfeit. So I'm hoping that the Lincoln team down in Nebraska, it's because of the numbers, they don't have enough numbers to field a team, rather than we just don't want to play a really good team.
Well, okay, Stevens had 17 injuries. I know this for a fact. They went out there, they had like 27 guys against Jefferson. Should Stevens have thought about forfeiting?
I hope not. I hope not. We still want to get out there and be competitive and play the game. I think you got to get out there. You want to be, as a coach, I would say, we're going out and we're going to do the best we can with what we got.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
They did that. Stevens, tried the best. I said, those kids that were out there, I commended them because it's not easy. Football's hard, and then when you're getting beat like that, it's really hard. So I commended the players for the Raiders actually competing instead of walking the halls thinking, oh, I'm not going to play. Last one for Craig Mattick. I got to get you. I'm going to pin you down right here. I'm going to pin you down. You thought you were retired. You're not retired. If you supported one change for South Dakota high school football, not your 6-man idea. I support that too. We're all on the same page. One change. Would you support moving teams down a class or allowing schools to schedule their own competitive regional games? Which would you support?
Well, the Activities Association, they do the scheduling. They've been doing the scheduling for a long time. I'm hoping that the schedules are being fair to these schools. I mean, for the most part, when I look at some of the schedules, I see that there are games between, let's say, 11A and 11B. I haven't heard anyone complain about the scheduling. What I have heard the most, and it's coming West River, is we want that opportunity maybe to move up, move down. Now, they can always do that. They can petition. Schools can petition up or down if they want. It just has to be approved by the association itself. I am looking a little bit more of what you're thinking there, Mr. Brown, when it comes to the teams that are in a class and they are just not doing anything. It is not success at all. So do you move them to a lower class? I would love to hear more debate on this, but I think the association's doing a pretty good job when it comes to scheduling. And I think if schools, let's say it's St. Thomas More and Rapid City Central, even though they don't really want to, let's say they want to play a football game once a year between those two. And if they tell that to the association, maybe those 1 weeks where they can place somebody besides somebody in their class, maybe they would say, okay, we'll let you guys do that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Teams out here wanting to play Sturgis, wanting to play Spearfish. We used to have a Rushmore Bowl, Craig. It was a big event. It was called the Dakota Bowl, and then it's the Rushmore Bowl. It's a big event. It used to be Central, Stevens, Spearfish, Sturgis. And now it never happens because they don't get to play each other. And the Activity Association, here's your game, and we send Harrisburg out to our Rushmore Bowl. I mean, it's just dumb. So
yeah, I'd rather see that happen than what's happening right now.
All right. Craig Mattick on tonight. East River meets West River. It's coming out for SDPB Sports State Soccer in Rapid City.
No snow.
Next weekend. Your new podcast is in play. Do we have a new one out?
We will have one next week. And it's going to be a state soccer player who had success as a high school player, had some success as college, and now has been coaching. In fact, coaching on the pro level as well as on the college level. It's a great story. That'll be released next week on In Play.
All right. Get it at SDPB Sports. Craig, good to have you. Thanks, man.
See you next week.
All right. Craig Mattick on tonight. SDPB Sports live from Sioux Falls. He'll be covering the state championships, just getting started with soccer in Rapid City next weekend. And the Rapid City Stevens Raiders girls. All right. Anyway, I'll let that go. I'm going to be trumpeting that horn. The Stevens girls, the team to beat. Can they win a state title? They are good. They've got two of the best players in the state. Underreported, but not on the Nate Brown Show. The Stevens girls, really good soccer. You want to see good soccer? That's a good soccer team right there. Into the second hour tonight. You know what it is. Wednesday on the program. You know what that is. 5 questions from our loyal listener, Chris. What do you got for me, Chris? Do I have the answers tonight? Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
October is Renewal by Anderson's United Against Cancer campaign, and when Renewal offered to pay for employees' radon testing and mitigation, several Renewal team members found radon in their homes. Deb was one of them, and she always wondered how she got breast cancer. Radon causes cancer. It's linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Radon is a killer.
People don't know about radon. They don't know what a killer it is, and they don't know how cheap it is to have it tested.
From all of us at Renewal by Anderson, please get a radon test now. It could save your life.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
We're talking with Britt Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for an Elevate Performance Health Minute. Britt, one of the injuries we hear a lot about in sports, an ACL tear. You can't prevent all injuries, but good sports performance training could help.
Yeah, Nate, one of the things that a lot of good sports performance training focuses on is trying to not only prepare athletes for the field of sport, but also try to mitigate their risk to sustain an injury. Unfortunately, things happen in sport. If anybody ever does experience an ACL tear that results in needing surgery to fix that, it's important to have a therapist on your side who can help them through prehab, rehab, and then return to sport. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes a long time to get back to the field of sport, but it's not impossible to do it all by any means. So just having that end goal in mind can be really beneficial for the rehab process.
When it comes to ACLs and sports performance training and treatment, get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate you. The Nate Brown Show is live right now on Fox Sports Radio across the state. Appreciate our affiliates making this show possible. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is on. Second hour ready to go. Some great guests on tap. Hang tight for the great Jerry Brewer. He is in tonight from the Washington Post. National sports writer Jerry Brewer talking NFL, mainly NFL. Might get a little Belichick in there with Jerry, get his read. Jerry Brewer, national writer, Washington Post. Also in South Dakota, we'll stick with Zach Borg, longtime TV broadcaster. Now he's streaming Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports app covering high school football. Zach Borg, the play-by-play man. We'll talk high school football later this hour. This hour is driven by Summit Automotive Group. When it comes to pre-owned in South Dakota, start at SummitAutoGRP.com. Experience car buying built around you. They work hard getting the right vehicle selection, but really, it's the Summit difference. Find out. Car buying built around you, from the right selection to the right treatment, the right financing. SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there. The Nate Brown Show inviting you on if you want in. 605-720-1067. That's the Barron's Wilson text line for you. 605-720-1067. Wherever you're listening, you can text us. Listener text on my campaign here. My campaign to shift high school football rules and regulations. I mean, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I'm not the only one that talks about and wants this to happen for some of the teams that have really struggled. And mainly, I'm going to point out, Douglas, Rapid City Central, Rapid City Stevens. They're out of competitiveness right now. And it's not just 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. It's been a long time. Douglas hasn't been competitive since Magic was there. Coach Magic. They haven't been competitive. Central just started getting rebuilt. They're still off, right? Those kids are working hard. I mean, I like some of those players at Central, man. I like you guys. Working hard. I mean, taking it serious. So it's not that. This guy's taking this serious. Stevens, there's players that want to compete and want to do it that just can't get enough numbers, can't get the culture, can't get the program built. You need big numbers. You need a heavy commitment in the offseason. You need a chance to build a winning program, but they can't win. And so we got to shift this. And listener text coming in on my idea, which would you endorse? Would you endorse schools scheduling more competitive games? Because right now we don't even get to schedule our own games. We got the Rushmore Bowl, and we bring teams in from Harrisburg and places like that. It's like, what? You guys remember the Rushmore Bowl? Rapid City's Rushmore Bowl, man. It used to be Stevens Central, Spearfish Sturgis. It was great. It's outstanding. Huge crowds, big fundraiser for the activities departments, all of that. Now it's just a regular week on the schedule. It's like, oh, well, Stevens is going to play Harrisburg, and Central, they might get to play Sturgis. Who knows? So you got to be able to schedule your own games regionally to make it more competitive for these schools to get some wins. Or you got to let teams move down a class to compete against programs that aren't so dominant like the Sioux Falls Metro. So that's where I'm at, and I think we have to continue that discussion. Listener text coming in. I would endorse letting your record determine your division now. If you're a bad AAA team, you can move down. But if you're a great AA team, you should move up. Yeah. Listener text, Pierre could have moved up years ago. They beat Spearfish 100-0. How can I forget? Listener text, listening to Craig Mattick is what's wrong with the high school association. They know there's an issue with so many football teams not being competitive, but they don't want to change anything. All right, 605-720-1067 is our number. The Barons-Wilson text line. How about we do this on a Wednesday?
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
We ready, Chris? Yes, you are. 5 questions from Chris. He sends them in. I send them out. Answers. The answers, right? The best I can. Question 1. Week 5 of the NFL season started the 10 weeks of various teams having byes. Most NFL teams have said they would prefer to have their bye week mid-season around week 10. Nate, should the NFL eliminate the 10 weeks of byes and just have 2 weeks that split the 32 teams, have 16 teams take a bye 1 week, have the other 16 take a bye another week? No, I don't like that idea. I'm okay with bye weeks. You just get the luck of the draw. You know, it's like Bears, Packers, Falcons, Steelers now. First teams have bye. It's just what it is. You got to spread out the byes. I don't want just 16 teams and 16 teams on 1 week and the other. Yeah, I don't want that idea. Spread them out. I want more games on a Sunday, right? Question number 2. Week 7 college football, and Deion Sanders has some health concerns, and now things are going roughly for Bill Belichick in Chapel Hill. You think it's possible both of these coaches walk away from college coaching at the end of the season? Well, I'm going to tell you, Chris, I think Bill Belichick might walk away now. I mean, that's the reporting today. This is unbelievable. Bill Belichick is, there's big reports today. If you're just in your car driving home, there's reporting that Bill Belichick in North Carolina may be trying to work on a deal to get this done now. Can you believe that? So Bill's out. You got that one, Chris. Deion, the health concerns give me a little bit of pause. Like, I would say Deion's going to stay with this. He's competitive. He did some winning. He's having a rough time now, but I thought Deion would stick with it. The health stuff gives me a little bit of, are we going to hear by January, February that Deion says, I'm just out? I don't think so, but the door is open. Let's just say that, Chris. Question number 3. Nate, is it surprising Major League Baseball hasn't announced their new media partner yet? Remember, they lost Sunday Night Baseball package with ESPN. Does it show that Major League Baseball's having a hard time finding a media partner because they haven't announced it? I have no idea on that. I think those negotiations are so secret and for every league. I mean, you see the NBA just all of a sudden exploded with a huge deal. The WNBA just got a new deal, a part of it. And you don't hear about this stuff. You don't hear behind the scenes, oh, well, maybe this, maybe that. I think Major League Baseball will be fine. They're going to get a big media deal. I hope it's a good one because their media has been bad. It's so sparse and separated and clunky. I think Major League Baseball's fine. I don't love not seeing Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Where does that end up? So they'll be fine. I don't think there's anything bad going on for Major League Baseball in the media deals because live sports is number 1 still for TV. Question number 4. Joe Flacco gets traded by the Browns. Do you still think Shedeur Sanders will see playing time as the starting quarterback? Oh, for sure. For sure. Now, I got to tell you, Kevin Stefanski should be embarrassed today. He said, I don't know if Shadur's number 2. I'll let you guys know later in the week. Give me a break. Kevin doesn't want to do it because they looked bad. He didn't want to pick Shador. The ownership made him pick Shador. He's trying to say, Shador's no good. I knew it. I don't want to put him in there. It's bogus. Shador Sanders will start for the Browns, whether Kevin likes it or not. It's going to be the old over-the-top thing. From the top, they're going to say, hey, Kevin, put Shador in here in a few weeks. Just wait. Question number 5. La Liga Soccer will stage a match in Miami. And the Italian League's going to stage a game, AC Milan, in Australia. This is historic and a major shift with these leagues. They've forbidden any league game to be played outside of their domestic country. You think we'll start seeing more of these regular season soccer La Liga games being played in other markets? I don't know that. I don't know that world. I don't know that world. Is it a big deal that La Liga is going to play in Miami? I will say soccer, again, people, it's growing. It's growing. There's more popularity. It's the worldwide sport. And the U.S., I think, is just starting to get more and more there on the soccer side. So I just think, hey, here's my answer, Chris. Even though I don't know that business, if there's money to be made, they'll play it. In Miami, wherever. If there's money to be made, they'll play it. It's kind of like the NFL. That's why you go overseas for 8 games. That's the real answer. They're not just doing it at Miami for kicks. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Jerry Brewer, national sports writer for the Washington Post. Really good. Coming up next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
October is Renewal by Anderson's United Against Cancer campaign, and when Renewal offered to pay for employees' radon testing and mitigation, several Renewal team members found radon in their homes. Deb was one of them, and she always wondered how she got breast cancer. Radon causes cancer. It's linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Radon is a killer.
People don't know about radon. They don't know what a killer it is, and they don't know how cheap it is to have it tested.
From all of us at Renewal by Anderson, please get a radon test now. It could save your life.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
car. All those quick starts, hard stops, endless red lights, and long idle times. They wear things down fast. Brakes, fluids, engine components, they all take a beating. That's where Al's D&I Repair in Rapid City comes in. We handle the maintenance that keeps your vehicle ready for whatever the city throws at it. Al's D&I, fixing it right since 77. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Meade Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Meade Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Meade Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadeLumber.com.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in across the state. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Wednesday edition. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks to our affiliates. We appreciate that. Remember, you can catch this show in podcast form, so every show is there, every guest. If you missed the first hour, maybe you can't catch all of the second hour. We don't repeat guests or play them back. We like going live each time out, new content. So go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. You want to catch the first hour, some high school stuff, some college stuff there. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Just search the Nate Brown Show, and then you've got it. You can download it on demand. Listen when you can. Jerry Brewer's on, sports writer, longtime sports coverage from Jerry, WashingtonPost.com. Jerry, welcome back on. Good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm sad that you never replay any of this knowledge that I dropped for all your listeners.
I can't do that. I'm like, let's go fresh, man. We're not going to record stuff. I don't want to go, eat a sandwich during the show. Okay? I'm going to go new content. Okay, I want to get your read on a couple of things. You've covered the NFL. I want to get your read on the Jonathan Gannon situation there. So he gets fined by his own team for the outburst with the running back, DeMarcado, who drops the ball. It was debatable whether, was it on the goal line, was it not? Anyway, they took the touchdown off the board before he crossed the end zone, said he dropped the ball. Gannon went off. There was something physical there. It was hard for me to see with the players in the way. He gets fined $100,000. I thought that was pretty heavy. What do you think?
I thought it was heavy because it just didn't seem like there was any real excessive contact or contact that if he were Andy Reid or if his name were Sean Payton or if his name were even Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan, some of the younger coaches, I think they probably would have brushed it over and just said it was addressed internally and moved on. But the fact that they fined Gannon that much money, it tells you, number one, he's Jonathan Gannon, and it tells you, number two, I think he could be fired at the end of this year, depending on how this year goes. Like that was like a real a vote of no confidence in their coach in that moment. And I just kind of have this suspicious feeling that there might be something going on in that locker room between player and coach.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm going to say if you find a coach $100,000, though, what do the players then think? Meaning, like you said, I don't think it was like really excessive. I'm not going to endorse it and say, oh, it was great. I don't know if he hit him in the chest or what he did there, but I've seen coaches do stuff and go crazy, and even in college, and it hasn't gone this route. So what should the players what do the players, you think, now think, hey, coach got hit because he, went off on the player? Does that give them a sense for, boy, I don't know if I need to listen to coach, basically?
He certainly has lost some power, absolutely, in that locker room, because now you're saying, as an organization, this guy's crossed the line. And again, for you to go at that amount over something that I don't know if people are in just an absolute rage about what happened, unless there was something that we didn't see on camera, right? It seems to me that the action is so excessive that it leads me to think that he's losing a little bit in the locker room, but more than that he's losing more of the faith of people in the front office, and that's never a good thing for a young head coach who has yet to go to the postseason with his squad.
Jerry Brewer on tonight, starting with the Cardinals situation and Jonathan Gann getting fined $100K by his own team, WashingtonPost.com, for his sports coverage. Let's go to this Browns situation. So Shedeur Sanders, I thought, was going to be named number 2. That's what you thought. Joe Flacco gets traded. Dylan Gabriel's the starter. But Kevin Stefanski said today, I'm not sure. I don't know who's going to be 2. I'll let you guys know. What are we taking away there?
A little bit of gamesmanship on Stefanski's behalf, but then also I think he's still in that mode of, I need to push this kid. I'm not going to hand Shedeur anything. So maybe there's some stuff that they're seeing at practice, or maybe it just goes back to why Shedeur dropped in general, that there needs to be some maturation, some tough love. And I think that's just Stefanski's way of saying, hey, you know, I don't want this kid thinking that we just got rid of a veteran who's won a Super Bowl, not just to play Dylan Gabriel, but to move Shedeur up the depth chart. We want some doubt in this kid's mind. I think that's where he's coming from.
Does Shedeur Sanders start for the Browns eventually?
The way things are going for the Browns, I don't know that any quarterback who's not one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league could start every game for the Cleveland Browns this year. So I would put if you gave me an over-under of 1.5, I think I'd take the over.
All right. I'm with you on that. Jerry Brewer on tonight. He's covered Super Bowls, covers the NFL, WashingtonPost.com sports writer. Eagles go down to my Broncos, Jerry. I can say my Broncos. Are the Eagles reeling a little bit? They ran the ball twice in the second half, and people are saying they got to make this guy happy and this guy. Are the Eagles going to free fall at all?
I don't know about free fall just yet. I don't think they're going to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I think I can say that with a fair amount of confidence, but I still look at them and see a team that could win 13, if not 14 games this year. But their greatest rival is not any single opponent. Their greatest rival is themselves. And we've seen this over the course of past 3 years, really, just how tenuous some of those relationships are. They just don't seem to like each other the way that they should, and it's really hard to go out and win these narrow margin football games when in the back of your mind you're making this decision. If you're Jalen Hurts, do I need to throw the ball to A.J. Moore? Is he going to be upset? What about getting Saquon his touches? From the standpoint of Nick Sirianni, I think he's got this battle with the perception of him and the public perception of him, and I think he's always trying to prove something more than just, hey, we got to win. And that compounds, those are some really, really difficult issues because it's so hard to win on Sunday even when you're going in the right direction. And so it's something to monitor. I think they're just so good and they can win in so many different ways that it's not going to they're not going to implode like they did a few years ago in the second half of the year, but it's always something to watch with that team.
Jerry, I haven't said this in 10 years. I'm a Broncos fan. I said yesterday, legitimately, I think the Broncos could win the AFC West. I haven't said that in 10 years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's interesting. That's the other part of this is that Philly lost to what I think is a really good football team. And I was in L.A. last Sunday watching the Commanders take apart that battered offensive line for the Chargers. And so now, all of a sudden, the first 3 weeks of the season, you were saying, well, maybe the Chargers can make the Super Bowl. Now, after 2 straight losses, you see some of their warts. It's going to be close, and it's going to be a bloodbath in the AFC West. I think that the Raiders, even though they may be one of the 3 least talented teams in the NFL, I think they will play better as the year goes on and not get blown out week to week. So I'm guessing that the champion in the AFC West will have 5 and not 6 losses. I think it could be that tightly bunched. I like this Denver team. I thought the Chargers had the best defense in the NFL, but now that they're down on pass rushers, I look over there and I'm like, man, like the Broncos look really damn good to me on defense, and they've got some concerns in terms of how much responsibility can you give to Bo Nix in his second year, and can he carry you and win you 3 or 4 games, or are you always going to have to make it work just perfectly around him? But Sean Payton's a winner, man. He is just a winner, and what I love about him is he always develops, even though he's an offensive guy, he always really develops these really hard-nosed, tough-minded football teams that they're not going to do, a ridiculous amount of things to beat themselves, even though they play at the razor's edge. I don't think you're crazy to think that the Chargers could win the AFC West. And that battle between, the Broncos, sorry.
That
battle between the Broncos and the Chargers is going to be fascinating. I think it's, I really think the Chiefs are vying for one of the last wild card spots as opposed to feeling like they could win this division.
That was my last one. The Chiefs, 2-3. Are they in trouble yet?
They're not in trouble yet because they're the Chiefs, and they're not in trouble yet because that 2-3 very easily could be 4-1, and maybe in the back of their minds they're thinking they could have won all 5. But when you're playing that many close games, you're going to lose every once in a while. And this is just kind of an overcorrection, right? Like last year they won all the dang close games, and this year they've already lost 3 really close ones. But it's so hard to. They have so much championship DNA. It's just so hard to separate from them in games. And as the season goes on, I think even though their record isn't going to be what they want it to be, they're going to be right there knocking on the door, and you got to beat them. And ultimately for the Chiefs, it might come down to their core talent. Like, can those guys stay healthy? And then when Rice comes back, can he be the true number 1 receiver that team needs? Now, if he is, and he's a 90-catch caliber guy, who's going to catch 6 balls for 80 yards every week, then everybody else could be in trouble. But, yeah, I still look at them and I say, man, I'd be pretty impressed if they went 10-7, and 10-7 is not going to win you a division.
Jerry Brewer on tonight. You've covered this guy in Super Bowls. I just want to know what you think of Bill Belichick's situation in North Carolina. It's getting hot. He might not make it through the year. What should we think of Belichick when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I see reports where he might not even make it through to the next game on October 17th. He did something that he shouldn't have done. Like, I thought this idea of Belichick, knowing we have so much evidence about the way that he is, and thinking that he could behave like and be a good college coach, I just didn't see it. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a disaster this soon. And you see all of these just little fires everywhere about rule violations, and I think it's really, you got to really be reckless as a college coach now if you're in danger of the NCAA sniffing around you, because there's so much stuff you can get away with. I mean, the NCAA is pretty much just like sat their butts on the porch and just said, we're going to watch this, until the sun goes down. And so to think that there's a possibility that there might be all of this other stuff going on with Bill Belichick, in addition to the fact that his team is no good, and it seems that there's some murmurs that maybe even he wants to try to find a way to get out. It's a complete disaster. It's Urban Meyer in the NFL in reverse, and in some ways it might be worse.
Yeah, great reference. Jerry Brewer on tonight, national sports writer, WashingtonPost.com, one of the best, one of our favorites. Jerry, appreciate you hopping in. Thanks a lot.
Oh, anytime, man.
Thanks a lot. WashingtonPost.com's Jerry Brewer tonight on the Nate Brown Show, one of the best writers, covered the NFL a long time. Good stuff from Jerry. We go to South Dakota's own Zach Borg. His read on high school football, and will he endorse any of my recommendations for the Activities Association? Zach Borg, Midwest Sports Plus play-by-play man, coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Fall is the best season, not just because football's back and my fantasy team's doing great, but it's getting cool enough for my favorite comfort food dinner, grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. The soup can be homemade or from a can. I don't care, but a grilled cheese has got to be sharp cheddar on either Country Heart's English muffin toasting bread or Dakota-style 12-grain. Baked right here in the Midwest, there's just no better bread than Country Heart. Heck, you can even skip the soup.
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
October is Renewal by Anderson's United Against Cancer campaign, and all of us at Renewal urge you to get your home tested for radon now. When Renewal's owner offered to pay for radon testing and mitigation if radon was found in our homes, several Renewal by Anderson team members found dangerously high levels of radon in their homes. This colorless, odorless gas is a killer. After smoking, radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer. The EPA estimates that radon causes 21,000 lung cancer deaths each year. Radon may also be linked to breast and other cancers, Parkinson's, dementia. Testing for radon is simple. Home tests cost under $20. Professional testing maybe a couple of $100. And if you have radon, it's easy to get rid of with a relatively inexpensive system that blows that radon out of a vent. From all of us at your local Renewal by Anderson, please invest in your family's safety today. Get a radon test today. There could be an invisible killer in your home right now.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota sports talk show across the state on our affiliates. Appreciate it. Thanks to our listeners for making this show possible. You guys mean a lot. Appreciate you being a part of the program. Hey, Zach Borg's on tonight. Zach is back. Yes, Midwest Sports Plus. He's doing a nice job. If you don't have the new app, this show is on there right now. So if you're watching the show on Midwest Sports Plus, you have the app. But if you don't have the app, get it. Midwest Sports Plus. Doing a great job covering high school football. Really good. Zach's been on the scene. He's doing some high school, doing a little college. Zach, welcome back. How are you?
Good to be back, Nate. Good to be. I guess we're kind of under the same banner a little bit as you are. I mean, I'm kind of a freelancer myself. We're both but we're under the Midwest Sports Plus Forum Communications, and certainly for people again, just get that Midwest, get the app, go to the website. Been doing play-by-play for games. I'll be on the call for O'Gorman and Washington this week. Did Rapid City. They did the doubleheader at Howard Wood last week with Rapid City Central Washington and Harrisburg Jefferson, and doing at least about a weekly feature, sometimes a little more on usually the high school area, but like I said, dipping into college as well, and they've got a lot of other great stuff on that app, and it's only going to grow. Okay,
so you've seen some of the Rapid City teams here. Central is trying to rebuild. I think they're better than they have been. That's true. The kids are putting in work, and Brandon Colpitt's got them going, and now they've switched coaches with McCulley, who's doing a nice job. But Stevens is down now, and they're not competitive. They have a bunch of injuries. They're not competitive at all. I went to the Jefferson game Friday. It just got my attention. I said, we've got to do something here. We got to see if we can change something. This is my opinion, Zach, and I ask you, if you could change one thing, would you allow schools to schedule some of their own games, competitive regionally, and maybe half by the association so you get enough AAA matchups, or would you allow teams that haven't won in 10 years to move down a class? What would you support more?
I think I'd probably be more in support of the scheduling matrices, especially with the Rapid City schools, because again, they have to, and I've talked a little more now with both coaches in my role, because I try to at least chat with them pregame or kind of go back and forth via email, and I talk with both coaches at Rapid City, and I know Coach Stevens actually made a good point to me about how he really wishes they could drive out the day before and rest overnight, because he feels like they always have road legs from having to bus in the day of the game, and I'd never really thought of that before, but it's actually a good point. I mean, I think about when I played my ball in Colorado, and we had to occasionally take a trip about as long over the Great Divide to go to the Western Slope, and I think we would. Yeah, I think we would usually stay overnight. I'm like, we usually pretty refreshed and played better. That's hard, but I don't know what the budgets are. So I think to cut down on those Rapid City schools having to travel as much, and it would also help competitively as well. There's just more regional, but it would save money too. I think that's what we're all kind of looking at in this whole thing right now, is how do these schools save money? Obviously, the dropping a class thing is going to get controversial. I think there's a case to be made for that. Certainly, you've got the second largest city in the state. That's going to ruffle some feathers. I've said this in places too. I don't know that it would significantly. There would be some more wins, but would they beat a Yankton, a Pier, and some of those programs that have really built a power in the AA? Not right now. I'm not sure. Not right now. No, I think it would take years. And, the other half of this too is another team that I've seen right now, Roosevelt. We're going to have Rapid City Stevens and Roosevelt coming up here this week, which is the battle for probably the last playoff spot. I hear what you're saying about Stevens. I saw them a few weeks ago in Harrisburg, and you're right. They're definitely up against it. They were actually they actually stopped Harrisburg on the opening drive of that game. But Roosevelt right now is just as uncompetitive. They were down 42-0, and they just didn't look. They couldn't put up a fight. It's remarkable. It's remarkable what's happened to Roosevelt. And I guess we'll see what happens this week when they play each other. But so. I don't know. There's programs right now, obviously no Sioux Falls school's never going to drop down as well to 11 AA. But, so I don't know. You're going to have I mean, that's going to be the argument. What happens to these other schools in AAA if they go through a prolonged skid? Because now Roosevelt hasn't really had they haven't had a 500 year, I think, since the year after Jefferson opened. So
I think you just have to have the model. I mean, it's not just picking and choosing. You got to have a success factor model. There's got to be basis points in this to where you haven't won this many games over a 4-year cycle. You haven't made this playoff run over a 4-year cycle. You're moving down. I'm not going to tell teams to move up. I've abandoned that. I think people are going to get too upset about that. It's like, oh, Pierre was so good. Let's move them up. No, I actually think the classes right now, and this is a big shift for me, Pierre, Mitchell, Huron, Spearfish, these teams, they shouldn't play Sioux Falls anymore. We all got upset about creating the 11 AA class. Was that actually a smart move? I've changed on this. I think that was a smart move now that I've seen the Metro dominate.
It seems to be working better. I mean, we saw Yankton kind of go. It's not just even the Metro. I mean, obviously Harrisburg and Brandon Valley have turned into big-time pros.
Yeah.
I mean, the Metro has kind of come back. I mean, I know Lincoln right now is in a really good position, but, with Jefferson opening, that certainly cut into the Metro area quite a bit. And I mentioned that with Roosevelt, but even Washington has been down relative to what they were. Certainly, like I said, I mentioned, Lincoln had some down years as well before they got back on top here over the last couple of years. So, opening another high school in Sioux Falls certainly kind of leveled the field a little bit. There were probably I think there's going to be another school opening up in Harrisburg before long. So, there will be more. We'll see how those affect things. But, it's interesting, too, because obviously in 11 AA you had Pierre just dominating for so long, but now we've seen some more parity this year.
Yeah,
I mean, Huron's one of the stories of the year right now, and that you never would have thought. And Sturgis as well. But, there's still Yankton. Yankton and Pierre are still going to be factors. So I think it's worked out well. I think the bigger place that, maybe where a class should be eliminated is probably a 9-man where we probably have too many. But for now, I think it's worked out well. I still think 7 classes is probably one too many. Could we maybe fold 11B into 11A a little bit? Probably. But I think the separation at AAA and AA has probably worked out better than we all thought it would 10 years ago.
Yes, I absolutely believe that. Zach Borg on tonight. Appreciate his time. Midwest Sports Plus, play-by-play man, covering the high school sports scene. So before I let you run a quick one, you've seen a lot of teams now. Brandon Valley just took down Lincoln. Are these two teams a cut above the rest or not?
I think it appears that way, although there's some really good challengers behind him. I mean, the first feature story I did for Midwest Sports Plus was on Brandon Valley and Hudson Parliament, who's obviously kind of the anchor of that big offensive line. He's going to Iowa. I mean, that line is just a moving company and a half. I mean, they are obviously you've heard it by now, but they had Levi Viscerna, their lead running back, was well over 100 yards. He gets hurt with cramps, and then the second guy comes in and just bulls over Lincoln for over 100. So, obviously their lines are a big deal there. They're kind of the power team, but obviously with Lincoln, you've got that offense that can kind of go at any moment. Now, the Lincoln defense, to me, is the question mark. Last year they were so good, it kind of carried them to the title while their offense was still pretty young, but they lost everybody off it. And you saw Washington hung with them the week before, only lost by 2, and they were up quite a bit of that game. To me, and I'm not just saying this because I'm going to do their game here, Washington's a team to me that's very dangerous because they were without Jace Woods for about a month, and he's bound for SDSU. Now all of a sudden their offense is better. Jefferson was in a shootout with them for quite a while. We even saw Gorman. I know that score looks worse than it was, but Gorman kind of hung with them. So I'm not willing, and we still don't know what Harrisburg only has had one game against an upper echelon team, and that was O'Gorman. They kind of blew a big lead, and it was week 1. So we're going to find out a lot about Harrisburg here. They'll play Jefferson, Brandon, and Lincoln down the stretch. But I certainly think those are the 2 favorites, but I don't know that one of those other teams couldn't one of those teams, Harrisburg, O'Gorman, or Jefferson, couldn't catch one of those guys on a bad day just because, with Lincoln's defense being a little iffy, although you do have to just keep scoring because that offense is going to get you. Or that, Brandon Valley, it's a bit of a ball-controlled game.
Yeah.
If you get them in the semifinal, which it's going to be, because you would expect all of them are probably going to get out of the first round. Although, like I said, whoever draws Washington, presumably, in that 4-5 game, 3-6 game, that's going to be a tricky one.
Zach, All right, brother.
I think on any given moment, one of those teams could be taken out in the semifinal.
Zach Borg tonight. We'll get him back. High school football really cranking up now. Just a few weeks left. Midwest Sports Plus, play-by-play, man. Download the app if you don't have it. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you, Zach. We'll talk again.
Thank you, Nate. Take care.
See ya. Zach Borg, Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports app. He's covering high school football play-by-play. Who's hot and who's not? Next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Text scams continue to rise, and victims who have lost money to these scams continues to increase. Consumers cannot rely on a text message to be truthful. If you receive a message regarding a fine for missing jury duty, your utilities being shut off for non-payment, toll road fines, or you've won a sweepstakes, these are scams designed with an urgency and the need to send money now. Do not respond to these texts, and you should contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986. That's 800-300-1986 for the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division.
I was the cool dad. My kids wanted me to take them to the mall. I didn't think anything about doing it in front of them, even though I knew it was illegal. Then my oldest started driving. Like father, like son. Gotta read that text right now. But he took a life, and now his is shattered too.
Addiction has many faces. Texting and driving when you know it's life-threatening and illegal can be one of them. Take back control. Put the phone down.
Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
It's time to hit the court at the Wautiki Fall Hoop Fest, November 7th through the 9th at the Box Elder Event Center. 3 days of non-stop basketball action as teams battle it out for bragging rights and glory. Divisions for boys and girls, grades 5th through 10th. Bring your game, bring your team, and bring the energy. And when the game's over, celebrate with special Courtyard by Marriott room rates that include Wautiki Water Park passes for even more fun. Don't sit on the sidelines. Register your team today at thebox.live.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Clear skies tonight with lows around 52. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow, 78. 48 tomorrow night, mainly clear. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times and dry Friday and Saturday, low 70s. Friday, low 80s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 75 degrees.
Step into Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort during their $120,000 Players Paycheck giveaway. You can win a prize package every 30 minutes on Friday and Saturday nights. Then, during the grand prize drawing on Saturday, November 1st, someone will win a $26,000 Players Paycheck. Your choice of $500 cash and promo play every week for a year, or a one-time payment of $10,000 in cash. The $120,000 Players Paycheck only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their #1 priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
All right, let's do this on the Nate Brown Show. Who's hot and who's not every night at this time. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Big time. Hit the Pizza Ranch tonight. Who's hot category? How about this stat? Football fans, this coming from Brett McMurphy tonight. Starting today, for 49 straight days, there will be a college football or NFL game every day until November 26th. And my wife's listening to this, and she just cried. 49 straight days, college football or NFL game till November 26th. Book it. Football is on. Now, it's going to start with Missouri State. But anyway, I mean, we're going to have football every day. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, well, I got to go with the Mariners. I picked the Mariners to go to the World Series when the postseason started. They can't eliminate the Tigers today. They were up. They gave up the lead. They lose 9-3. Final game coming up. Series tied 2-2. A pressure cooker. The Mariners trying to get this done. How about Detroit? Didn't even win their division. And they might make a run to the ALCS. My boy Chris, pretty happy about the Mariners' collapse. Tied 2-2, and my Cubbies trying to hang on tonight. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow on The Nate Brown Show. See ya.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in South Dakota, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and